Okay, the meeting is now started. Link is sent. That's better. Let me open up my Gmail. Hello?
Hello, Adil.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. I sent him the link as well, so hopefully he sees it.
Yes. Let me send a message to.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Salam.
Hey.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey.
For you, good afternoon. For us, good morning.
Excuse me, I didn't know that in the last time I sent you the link, I thought you would send it to me, but now we have each other.
Yes. That's good. No problem.
Okay, when you allow me, I start. As I wrote you, thank you very much for the report and the workflow. I found it very nice. I have some questions. A part of the questions concern my understanding of the whole workflow or about the technical details of the workflow, and some questions are conceptual. Uh, I don't expect that you reply to this or you work out these questions. It may be that we use your work as a platform, as a starting point for a research and development project. And these conceptual questions may be replied or may be worked out in that project. But
Okay.
we can discuss about these questions, and if you have any idea, it would be very nice. So I probably at the I open your report here on the other monitor. Um, the three phases of the workflow.
Yes.
I think I understood it. The automated test set generation, benchmark execution, and evaluation. Um, the automated test for the automated test set generation, you define three steps, and in the first step, as I understood, searching in the public domain for data. The second step would be in a company or organization their own database,
Yes.
and also uploading specific data in the third step. It means in this phase or in these three steps or in the first part of the phase one, you gather data, right?
Yes. So it basically gives the user options. So if they want to do everything just uploading their own documents, they don't need to bring anything from the web. They just use whatever they have on their proprietary documents. If they would like to also do some web scraping to get information from Wikipedia or government websites
Yes.
or any other sources, then they can also do that as well by typing in some keywords. And we plan on having an automated model just web scrape and crawl the internet to get documents back.
Okay.
So you can do completely uploading everything on your own, or you can do completely web scraping, or you can do a hybrid mix of both approaches together. It's optional. Yep.
Okay. Okay, and the base of this data, the second step is chunking. I have written it, but I can't write it. The chunking, yes?
Chunking, yes.
Okay. I didn't understand it in detail, but
Right.
I think we don't need to discuss it at the moment. Probably
It's kind of technical, yeah.
Is a technical point is right. And probably I would say, or probably you would explain it a bit in deep in your report or in the presentation, in the large presentation we will have at the end of your work. Okay, the third step is the output. It means the generation of questions, answers, and context, and also the difficulty level. Here I have a question. This is our fundamental question at the beginning of our contact. As I sent you the papers for the quality assurance of classifying AI systems
Peons.
on the basis of a probabilistic extended ontology. As I told you, it is clear that this approach cannot be overtaken in the generative AI or for the generative AI. But the question is, if we go deeper to the meaning of this approach, or category partition testing in the testing of conventional software, that you partition the whole input data and take representatives of each equivalence class of the data. The meaning of this action is that you would like to cover the whole input domain in a way that it would be even or fair. What is the word for it? That it is that it would that you
generating data,
generation data, but I mean that the quality of data is so that you cover the whole input domain, but also from a kind of a fair distribution of data. That if you have in the reality from a part of the input domain a large set of data which could be used, then you test it more deeply, and in the parts of the input domain where you have no much data, not a large set of data, you test it not so deep with the other parts. A fair distribution. This is the meaning. It is clear that for generative AI, because the input domain, you cannot limit it to something, or you cannot characterize the limitation. There is no border for your data, and probably from the formal language, the size of each language is infinite, and it is not possible to make a partition of it in a meaningful sense.
Yes.
But the question is there any method to, as I told you previously, a kind of heuristic or Faustregel in German, to have a fair distribute at first, a kind of completion that you are not sure, but you are relatively sure that you have covered the whole data input domain, and that you have a fair distribution. As I understood, you generate here test set, this triple question, answer, and context,
Yes.
and also the level of
difficulty.
Yes, difficulty. But my question is how you select these questions.
Yeah, I can explain that a little bit. So in order to make the test questions, we're using another model that basically reads the knowledge base. The knowledge base is all the documents that we uploaded, either proprietary documents or web script documents. It's all of those documents in a database. And we make sure that when we're making the questions to benchmark the agent, to benchmark the model, we're making them such that it goes through the entire database. So in this way, we're actually kind of limiting the input domain. We're limiting it only to the documents that we provide for the model, right? Such that if there's ever any question that appears from outside of whatever training material the model was used a knowledge base on, then the model will tell you straight up that this was not covered in the knowledge base. So it'll prevent hallucinations. It'll prevent making up answers. And so since it's going through the entire knowledge base, and since it's also generating the context, whenever a question is made, you can go back to the source documents and you can see exactly where it was pulled from. So this way we can go through the entire thing and we can later check to see if every part of the knowledge base was equally represented, or at least realistically represented in the benchmark, the questioning.
Okay, this chunking, kind of slicing, or dividing the whole input domain into smaller parts.
Yes, but it's not necessarily to tweak the input domain. It's like a how do I say it? It's like a logistical requirement. We can't take the entire database. We can't take all the documents and just in one go put them in a database. We have to make them smaller sections first. Otherwise, there's something called embedding. We can't do the vector embedding without making the chunk sizes smaller. That's why we
find out about the similarity.
To find out about the similarity, we have to convert everything from text to vectors. And in order to do a text to vector conversion, we need to make sure that the text itself is not too big. So if it's more than about 500 tokens or 1,000 tokens, which is about 700 words.
If you say token, you mean the tokens of the neuronal net?
No, the tokens of the words themselves. So imagine you have a document. The document has 1,000 words in it. These 1,000 words, if you wanted to convert to tokens, it's basically the computer's way of splitting the words apart. It might be 1,500 tokens, right? And these 1,500 tokens are not from the neural network, not from the model. It's just from the document itself. And usually what happens is if you want to convert that document into a vector, you need to make the document smaller. And that process of making the document smaller is chunking. So maybe we might chunk it by paragraphs or by sentences. Instead of giving the whole document at one time, because the model can't. Yeah, that's what it's just technical.
That's a technique of text mining.
Okay. Okay. Then back to the question, or your what you explained, that you can trace or track the questions generated to the parts of document.
Yes.
Okay, and so you can see whether the whole documents are covered or not.
Yes.
And you can you check it automatically?
You can check it automatically, yeah.
Okay. You can check it automatically that all the parts of the documents which has been given into the system are covered by the test cases generated. Okay, very good. This would be a good criterion. A more deeper question, but we don't need to ask to discuss about it, because okay, you have formally covered the different parts of the document by the questions, but from a limited text, you theoretically you can generate it an infinite set of questions.
Yes.
This is the heuristic is okay. This is what I said is a theoretical point of view, but from the practical point of view, it is a good, nice criteria. Okay, and the other question would be a question and answer. One moment, you generate questions and also answers to the questions. Oh, return the ground truth answer word for word. Okay, how you mean automatically the ground truth answers are generated automatically?
Yeah, I can give like an analogy maybe to better explain this. The test set generation, you can think of it as a teacher going through a knowledge base, like a couple of textbooks of a course that they're teaching, and they go through the textbook completely, and they make questions based on whatever notes are on the textbook. And when they're making the questions, they're also making the answers. So the teacher makes the questions, the teacher makes the answers, the teacher also makes the context, which is which lesson or which page did the teacher get that question from, or the idea for that question from. And so later on, when the student writes the test, this is the actual model, right? The thing that we're testing. When the student writes the test answers can be evaluated based on the teacher's answers.
So the teacher is also a machine.
Yes.
Yes.
But how the teacher can give an how without any
That's like an open book exam.
Are you asking how we can assess if the teacher's answer is correct?
Okay, it means if you have a question, at first we don't consider any machine from the point of view of people, persons. I ask a question as teacher, and you give it an answer to it, and I check the answer whether it is in the text or not, but semantically, or what you don't expect to find it syntactically.
Well, are you asking if we're going to get a word-for-word response, like exactly the same response? We don't look at word-for-word, we look at the meaning. So imagine a teacher asks a question, and the student gives an answer. The answer from the student doesn't need to be word-for-word the same as the teacher's answer. It just has to have the same meaning and have the same concepts. Is that what you were asking about, or something else?
I don't. If the question is checking the correctness of the answer, I can imagine, yes, your LLM generate an answer to a question, but my question is how it can be checked that it is a correct answer to that question. If I ask you, for example, I think you had here at the end an example concerning a medical case, diabetes, diabetical patient that calculate the total daily basal insulin dose for a 70 kilo adult initiating therapy at 0.2 units per kilo. and the ground truth is 14 units per day.
Yeah.
And this ground truth is generated by your LLM.
Yes.
But how you can check it that it is a ground truth?
Yes. So for this would be the teacher LLM or the LLM that's making the questions, right? The test set generator, right?
Yes.
Yes. So we'd use the most sophisticated model, like maybe the most expensive model, to make the questions. And this would kind of guarantee that the model gives a high level of accuracy in its outputs. And also, it's not making up any answers. All the answers that it makes are from the source documents. So it's able to take from the source documents and keep that as the ground truth. And I mean, if we want to do a further check to see if the ground truth value is correct, we could do some human supervision of answers. It might not be completely autonomous, but it would be mostly autonomous, the process of generating answers.
Did you say that you use another model to?
Right. So
Right.
you can treat, because there's going to be a cost difference. You use the best model available to make the questions. The best model available might take time to make the questions. It might take more resources, and it might take more resources to get the answers. But we want the most performant model for this, not the cheapest model. But when we're doing the actual using, like when actual testing, we use a different language model, like a cheaper model, so that it's low latency. You can give fast responses. So that's why we would use two different language models.
Okay,
Yeah.
it means you assume there is a validated model for your domain, specific domain. And do you know the concept of back-to-back testing?
No, it's back-to-back testing.
Back-to-back testing is that you have a validated test object. For example, in control theory, it is not easy to validate every step of a new algorithm, because you don't know
Yes.
what the precise output should be. In this case, you use an back-to-back. You have already a validated model. It has been used for many years.
Yes.
And you have a new implementation.
Yes.
Concerning some aspects, for example, efficiency and so on. And in this case, you make a back-to-back test.
That's
it
what
means,
it is.
Is that the case here?
Yes, that is the case. Because in the question generation phase, to get the questions and the ground truths, we'd be using a reliable model that already has a proven track record, the previous implementation, let's say, and we want to make a new update, a new implementation, either for performance or speed purposes. So we benchmark it compared to the previous model.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Thank you very much, because it was a very large problem to understand. Okay, in the case we have such a model, such a reliable model, we use it as a teacher.
Yes.
Yes, and in the case we have no such a model, for example, a new discipline or a new field of activity, then I would say we need a supervised
Yes.
learning.
100%. Yep.
Human.
Okay. This is a very, very important information, because you don't in the practical world, you don't you can't expect that for example, our company would have a project there is no system in this field for AI, and our customer would require a new AI system for its application field. In this case, we have to do this step manually by supervised learning.
Yes, but I would also say, even if we don't have any model for a particular domain to make the questions, we can still use existing models. Are you familiar with the RAG approach, RAG?
Yes.
Retrieval augmented generation, right? We can use that approach to take one of an existing general purpose model, and we can use that as the test generation agent. We would still do some supervision on whether the model is, correctly making questions, correctly making answers as ground truths to those questions, but we wouldn't be starting with nothing.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
a kind of semi-automatic
Yes.
action, because in the current world, you for each activity you can use generative AI to support you. You can use a rec concept or a procedure to support you by supervised learning. Okay, this has been solved. Thank you. Okay, then for completeness of our test set, we have our tracking mechanism. We can track the
Yes.
generated questions to the parts of the text we have put in, and it can be checked automatically. Phase 2, benchmark execution. This is also a technical issue. I think I understood it. For the evaluation, okay, evaluation is important. Benchmark execution and evaluation. You have different.
In this part, a scorer might not be in this part of the phase 2. That could go in the third part, phase 3. In phase 2, benchmark execution,
Yes.
one of the sections written is a scorer. Yes, Adil?
Yeah.
Scoring.
And it may move to the phase 3, yes?
Yeah, we just put it by accident on phase 2.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. In phase 3, the difficulty level. You have written 4 criteria. You have a set of criteria for the evaluation, but I don't find it now. Where was it?
I think you mean in phase 3 we had some criteria like
Phase
robustness. 3, number 3, evaluation,
Yes.
right?
Phase 2, benchmark execution.
No, phase 3. That's the one where we had the evaluation criteria.
Evaluation and reporting. Correct. Okay, yeah, at the beginning. Correctness, faithfulness, relevance, and completeness. These 4 criteria seemed to me difficult to check. About completeness, we have already spoke, but correctness, exact match.
Maybe I should specify.
Is your base again the back-to-back test that you compare it with the reliable model?
Yeah, with the reliable model.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the reliable model, and if we don't have any reliable model, but we have supervised, we have generated a test case, the test
human generated
set by supervising, how it can be check the correctness or faithfulness.
So we want to see if the answer generated by the student, the new implementation model, we want to see if the answer generated by it actually answers the question and is based on the provided context. So remember, we have each question when it's generated has the question, the answer, the context of where it was taken from, plus the difficulty level. So the third thing, which is the context, will help us go back to the original source and see if the model actually answered the question based on the original source. So that would be the faithfulness. If the answer of the model is not based on what was in the original text, if it just made something up, then it would have a low faithfulness score. That's how we would see it.
Okay, you have a. Okay, it is right. Okay, you have already your test cases contain the questions and also the replies, the answers to the questions. Therefore, it is possible to compare it. Yes. Do you have any? Yes, you have an already generated set of test cases, and you use it also in the phase of evaluation. It means you have already the answers, and therefore the comparison is possible.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I think these were all my questions. Thank you. Do you have any remark or question from your side?
Just wanted to ask about the presentation. Did you want us to do a presentation for your colleagues?
Yes, it would be nice if you could make such a presentation. And in such a presentation, my imagination is that at first an introduction to generative AI, because we have our colleagues have probably some of them have used generative AI, but they have no experience concerning the theory and practice of generative AI. For example, what is the meaning of reg, and what is the basic things concerning what is the relationship between.
For example, text mining techniques like tokenization or embedding the other ones. We have to explain about that as well.
Yes. Also the neuronal, which role play the neuronal nets. For example, the parameters I asked you, I think a few months ago, but now I know it because I asked it at ChatGPT that the weight on the
neural net
arrows and offsets are which are calculated by the neural net algorithm. Embedded table, it is not so much clear for me. Probably you can explain it. Yes, and that what you have developed as concept, and you are, as I understand, you are implementing it, is an agent, right? An agent for generating arbitrary benchmarks for domain-specific part of knowledge based on usual large language model, for example, ChatGPT or so. Okay, and that one can understand how your work is positioned in the whole world of AI. Okay, and also is it's important, as I said, to denote the difference between back-to-back test. If you have already a reliable model for a domain, and in the case you have not any, you have you have to make supervised learning of course, it can be also supported by the general large language model. Okay. Yes, this would be the content of the presentation. I suppose probably 30 minutes, at most 60 minutes. Of course, there would be also questions and answers.
Yes.
One should take one and a half hour for it, probably. But when you, I think formally your COP will end at the end of
This month.
July.
Yes.
Yes.
2 weeks, something like 2 weeks.
Yes,
Okay.
but we hope our cooperation to be continued.
Okay, it is up to you when you plan this presentation. Yes, if I think it we have from the next week here vacation of students, but
Yeah.
some colleagues have also children, and in the time of vacation they take also vacation. But there are not many, probably 1 or 2 people who are interested in the issue would not be present. But we must not consider all the people. Everyone who is interested and can participate would be nice. Probably I would estimate 6, 7, 8 people from our car. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any question or remark?
We appreciate for everything. Thank you so much, Dr. Sadeghipour.
Yeah, I would thank you for your nice work, and we will be in contact concerning the report and the presentation. And your implementation is in GitHub.
We'll add it to GitHub. We didn't make it public yet. It's private, but we'll add it. Yeah.
Okay. At the moment is on your computer, but
Yes.
you plan to make it public.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good time.
You too. Bye.
You too.
Goodbye. قربان شما، خداحافظ.
قربان شما، خیلی خوشحال شدم. ممنون.